everything I spit rare. We sounded that great. Area podcast, they talk about hip-hop all the way in the UK, so they gon' get props. Ooh, let me catch it once again. Every time I'm spitting, I be making people's dome spin.
5 years, man, since the Suns tirade.
I didn't feel like 5 years. I wasn't waiting for Isaiah Rashad, you know. If I'm really, really honest, I was waiting for Kendrick. Exactly.
Then that announcement came. Already. Then that announcement came.
I was not waiting for Isaiah Rashad at all. Like, the Suns tirade was a
you can't
banger.
pardon a man like that.
Nah, let's be honest.
Pardon a man like that, man.
The Suns tirade banged. Like, it was a good album, yeah, but I was not waiting for this at all. It caught me by surprise.
The worst things that happened this year in the music industry: Donda not dropping and Kendrick's announcement being a sire.
I ain't gonna lie. Sure might have caught that one. I said it caught me by surprise. In my brand new whip.
Yeah. If we're going to be obvious, we all wanted Kendrick. But no, this was still a nice surprise, though, man. And it was good to see that he was coming back because, like Sean says, I don't know what happened to him. He just went off the radar 5 years. And I love the Sun to Tirade as well. I think it was a great album. So to go off the radar for 5 years, it's good to see that he's come back because I did wonder what had happened to him.
Well, did any of you read the Fader interview?
No.
Did any of you read that?
No,
I've not read it.
Maybe kind of dug into what was going on because I know that there every now and then when I would check the various websites, there'd be the odd like, oh, this song leaked or he was on Instagram Live doing this and that. But basically, he apparently after Sun's tirade, he went on tour until about late 2017, and then after tour was just like spending money, had like friends living at his house, you know, kind of helping out family, this and that, and then within about 4 or 5 months was broke, like living on someone else's couch, things like that, struggling with alcoholism, Xanax addiction, all sorts of things. He was a mess, basically, apparently. And then even spent a month in rehab, I think Top Dog got him into rehab because there was an incident with like his car, like smashing up Top Dog's car or something like that. He basically was off the rails. And then I think started recording this in like January 2020, he said. But yeah, that's why it's taken so long. Because I remember, I think in the Suns tirade, he said he wouldn't take that long again. I think.
I feel like you were saying previously, like last year, or maybe year before last, like 2019, you were like Isaiah Rashad's going to drop more stuff, and you sent like a link to a video or something where you were saying something like that.
No, I wanted new Isaiah because I've always been a big fan, and he dropped a track last year. You know, in TDE did that week of, was it TDE Appreciation Week or something?
Yeah.
Absol dropped.
Oh yeah. I've seen, yeah.
He dropped a song called Why Worry around that time that obviously didn't make the album. So that was like, oh shit, Isaiah, I've not heard him in a while. And then there were rumblings that it was coming this year. There were rumblings, and then obviously there was the TDD, the secret TDE announcement thing and all that.
That was really anticlimactic because everybody knows what they wanted to see there, and everyone knows what they were willing to accept. So it was like, either Kendrick, maybe Schoolboy, maybe a bit of Absol. It's like, it's Isaiah Rashad. It's like, why do all this for that? No,
we spoke about this on the group and I feel like anyone who, I know we're like, there's a lot of big Kendrick fans and it's been a while, but really and truthfully, if you really think about it logically, Kendrick was never going to be Kendrick. It was never going to be him. They would never ever have dropped music at this moment in time with the pandemic and all that. Someone like Kendrick who's going to bring in huge money with tours and festival headlining and all sorts of things. It was never Kendrick. Never. That's why I was never this.
I'm still upset.
I hear you, but it's just the way they did it. Like, obviously, deep down, we knew it wasn't Kendrick, but the way they styled it, man, the wait is over. Everybody's just thinking, oh, it's Kendrick. Well, obviously, I know what you mean. Like, if you thought about it logically, it was always going to be Isaiah Rashad. Like, the wait is over 5 years. But I don't know how they did it. They just, I don't know. I think they kind of almost fucked things up, really, because everybody wanted Kendrick. I'm not going to lie.
They sold us a dream, but all right. So Isaiah Rashad, he had some issues. He's overcome those issues now, and he's given us this album. What does anyone think of the title of the album?
It's quite ambiguous, isn't it?
Like this whole album, though, is vague.
Yeah. I want to come to that with Isaiah actually, because he's cryptic to me in a different way. But Theo, what does it mean to you? The house is burning.
Oh, I don't know, because I say that because listening to this album, I don't really get the message of what the title. I don't see the relevance with the title and the album sort of feeling. At first, I thought it was like I'm burning down the house and coming back into my own. I don't relate the title to the album, to be honest with you. I don't see the link, if I'm being brutally honest. So yeah, see, I kind of struggle with that concept. I try to, when first listening to it, when the house is burning, what's this going to be about? Listen to the album, then relate back to the title and think, but where's the link? I can't personally find the link.
So to me, the house, this is just my personal opinion, the house represents his mind state, his life.
Look, Sean's even wearing a fucking Kendrick top right now.
Yeah,
he doesn't give a fuck about Isaiah Rashad. Do you think we didn't see that?
Or rep TDE, man. That's all I've got. And he said something in an interview as well, and he said, because like the interviewer asked him, like, what does it mean? And he said, he says, when your house is on fire, are you going to jump in that bitch to get the personal possessions, or are you going to trust in yourself and in God that you're going to bounce back? So I think what I mean is by his mind is like, I think he got to such a low point that it was like, am I going to hang on to this addiction? Am I going to hang on to all this material stuff? Or am I going to get the fuck out of there and sort myself out? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what the house is burning means. I think he's talking about, him, inside him.
It's the journey, the past 5 years, basically.
I was thinking that it was more like the house is burning as in like he's just going through some shit in this album, but I didn't really think of it much past that.
I think this album is the product of the house burning. So like we're not getting the journey of the house burning in this album at all. This is just like the end point of it. That's what I thought. Like you get dark highs and lows in this album, but
there's no title track on this. Oh, there is. I'm so stupid. That's what THIB stands for.
Oh yeah, of course. I feel like an idiot. What? Oh,
I was thinking like there's no title track for this album, so there's no theme for this album. But I guess that track would be the.
I'm so stupid. That track's gonna hit differently now. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, that's my man. That's poor from my part.
Like, he says things like weed couldn't settle my fire. You know. He says like you was looking to a light, I was looking for a lighter, I was fucking with the fire in the worst ways. You know what I mean? There's all these sort of little fire references, but it's kind of like relating to his addictions and how he feels inside. But Isaiah is a cryptic guy, not in the way that like a complex guy, not in the way that like a Doom or a Lupe is with their concepts and their vocabulary and things. But I think he is just so autobiographical and sticks to his lingo and his way of wording things and whatnot, that it's hard to pick, it's hard to follow. He's always been that way as well. And that's why he's also so captivating, I guess, at the same time. With this one especially, it took me a few listens to really be like, what's he saying in this album? What's going on here?
I don't know if I picked up on what he was trying to say with the theme. If anything, all that I could take away from this album is that he's a really good rapper.
It relates to what I was saying as well, because that's why I said I struggled to relate the title with the theme and the title of the album.
Like, how did the songs
when listen to it? I just was trying to get that message. I couldn't. Personally,
there is a journey in the sequencing though. Like it's like a lot of great tracks and even a lot of great records. Some of the songs are really fully produced and everything, but it's like, is it a more of a mixtape kind of vibe? In terms of like, I don't know.
Do you know what's weird to me about this album, right? It didn't feel like 16 songs, and arguably I didn't want to skip any of the songs. But at the same time, I don't know. I can't describe it. I'm not seeing the theme that
I wish it was more concise because I would understand it more.
I don't know if I could understand it. Maybe I haven't listened to it enough. I don't know. But if Sean says he sees something there and he understands it, I definitely want him to explain it more. Yeah. Like if there's sections or a transition of a journey, I need to know.
I think like I said, I think the title's one thing. I think there isn't one particular theme. I think there are many themes. I think he, like with all his music, he talks a lot about addiction. He talks a lot about his dad. He talks a lot about death in general. and kind of escapism, I guess. But for this one, and it relates to what you said, Kieran, about the sequence in the transitions, I felt like if there was a theme to this, to me it felt like he was driving, like he's on a journey, especially with a lot of the skits and the transitions. There's a lot of there's either loads of car references in the bars, but then there's like bits towards the end of the album. It sounds like a car door has been left open. You can hear the seatbelt thing going off. There's many things. If you listen to it with that mind frame, if you like after this, if you go and listen to the album, just think about him being in a car on a journey, you'll probably hear it as well. And the last thing as well, and again I got this from the interview, is one of the things he found or that helped him after rehab was he got into comic books in a heavy way. He started going to this comic book store all the time, and he started reading I can't remember, I think it's Mr. Magic or someone like that. Theo, you might know, I don't know. I think it's a DC comic.
I think you said Mr. Magic before. Yeah, he's DC Mr. Magic, yeah.
Isn't Dark Seed or Dark Side, isn't that a villain or something?
Dark Side is a villain. He's Superman. If you want me to go ultra like geek, he's one of Superman's villains, like arch nemesis, and he comes over and he's
the one that kills Superman, actually.
Yeah, he kills Superman, tries to like destroy the whole world, and he can affect people with his mystic sort of powers. They all turn evil. But like Kieran said, he's the one that kills Superman.
Okay. And then there's other little things here, like I think there's like a name drop of Billy Baston, who apparently Shazam or something like that. And Claymore is a manga series. Like the track title Claymore is a manga series as well.
There's an anime of that as well.
Yeah. So I think just to kind of round it up, I don't think there is a like one particular theme or one particular story. I think Isaiah is just so, like I say, he said ages ago in his music, he makes music for the vibers. He's not really about like the bars or any, or like about the concepts like a loop or something like that. I think he just kind of talks whatever's on his mind, makes a sound like that.
He's just like, he knows his brand, and like it's him. He is his brand. So he puts that out there.
That's really true. There are no like hype tracks on this, which I haven't really noticed now until retrospect and reading my notes. So there's no like
From the Garden's a bit hype.
But it's not like
there's a couple.
It's mellow hype though. It's not like break up your room hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not that. But this is definitely a vibe. There's a vibe sound throughout. This is definitely something you just vibe to. That's him. But then Zay's that type of person and that guy, and that's the pocket that he likes to be in. So,
I don't necessarily think this. I just want to see what you all think. But because it's a very mellow vibe throughout most of the album, but you have near the beginning, you have From the Garden track 2, and you have what's it called? The singer?
Lay Witcher.
Lay Witcher.
Oh, Lay Witcher, yeah.
Which are two of probably the highest energy tracks on here. Do you think, was it a bit jarring having those? Like compared to like
it jarred me. I want to listen to this album in bed while I'm going to sleep kind of feelings, but like them two tracks really do, like I have to press next when I'm trying to do that.
Oh really?
That's funny. It didn't jar me at all. I didn't mind it,
No, he makes the kind of music. It's just like sleepy music.
I hear you on that. But
I like it though.
Do you know what?
I don't mind it, but
I didn't mind it. I was painting to it. Yeah, it is. I know what you mean. It is misleading, but because you get From the Garden, you're like, I'm in that feeling, and then is it R.I.P. Joe the next track?
R.I.P. Young
Smoke.
Oh, Young Smoke. Young. Sorry, my bad. Anyway, I love that track, but that's such a chill track that you're like, oh yeah, I just want to sit back and vibe. Then you get Lay Witcher again, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I'm back, bumping my head again. Then it's straight back to a vibe again, and you're like, even though it doesn't really bother me, I can understand why that could be very jarring.
For me, Lay Witcher gave me Chopped and Screwed vibes though, with that double look. So for me, in my head, that whole Chopped and Screwed vibe is actually quite relaxing, just because it's like almost meditative. Like, you know how like some Buddhist people chant? That's almost like what Chopped and Screwed is to me. It's like you're hearing the same thing over and over again and over again and over again. It's like, for me, that's relaxing-ish.
I get you. There are like some, what I mean by misleading is, and by the way, I do like those tracks definitely individually, and even I don't mind them in the sort of within the album too. But for instance, there's tracks like What You Said and Chad, which are a bit more high energy, but for me they flow a lot better. Like they fit that mellow vibe that's out like throughout the remaining 13, 14 tracks on this album. Whereas the other two, like I say, you come out like the second one especially, you hear it and you're like, oh shit, and then you never really get it again.
No,
it's like, oh.
But Lil Uzi Vert, can we just give Lil Uzi Vert a mention, please? He came out bussing. He was doing too much. Like, I don't know how he's getting around on everyone's albums like this, but he's doing a lot of work and he's doing it at a high level.
He's impressing me this year. I'm not gonna lie. The features, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I didn't know he could rap like this. I thought he was just some weird auto-tune guy, but he can actually rap.
Yeah, it was super impressive. Yeah.
That's my guy.
Kieran's Ben knew about him already.
Yeah. But yeah, back to like the sequencing though, and the transitions, like what you said, Kieran. I love things like there was like the outro from the Garden into R.I.P. Young with the cheese references, and then the Project Pat sample. Just it flowed so well, even though the way from
the way From the Garden actually comes in as well with that like epic. I don't even know what instruments they are, but I just feel like I'm in a movie in that moment. So I feel like that song really links from Dark Side and into R.I.P. Young so nicely.
But then just like, again, between the tracks, there's so many, like I say, there's so many sort of car and driving references. Like he talks about, what song is it? I think it's between All Herb and Hey Mister. He says something like, I'm parking, don't turn it off. So he says something like, I'll keep it rolling or something like that, and it comes straight in. But then there's, like the track before that, there's the VVs and the AMGs. There's all sorts of things. I'm trying to remember them now. Like I said, there's the seatbelt unbuckling a bit later on. There's loads of car talk on Chad. All sorts going on throughout it. That's why to me it feels like it's like he's gone on this car journey. There's a bit where he gets out and maybe he goes to the party or something like that, and then he comes back into the car and finishes and goes home. I don't know what he does, but I like the way it flowed between each track. What did you think of the production as well?
Oh, this was a really well produced album. That was one of the things I kind of kept front of mind when I was listening to this. I was like, this album's produced really, really well. It's got Kenny beats on there somewhere. A lot of the other productions, I don't know who the fuck they are, but the Kenny beats stuck out to me a lot.
It's just that
TDE. You've got Cole Anthony as well, haven't you? Because he's a decent producer. It just transitions really well. And like Kieran said, it's cohesive. That's what I like about it. Nothing falls out of place. It's just so well done. Can't fault the production, really.
No, not at all.
He said in another... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just muttering on. Don't worry about me. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, he said in another interview that he kind of tries to make like a mix between, there's obviously hip hop, neo soul, trap. And I hear that. I do hear that with his music and in this as well. It's like this in between space. It's not like quite one of them, but it's like floating around them. But yeah, there's a few producers like is it Carl Banks? Banks? I think he features on one of the tracks as well. He does a lot on here. Devin Malik. I've not really heard these names before. Hollywood Cole, who's done a few things.
Oh, it's Hollywood. I thought it was Cole Anthony. Anyway, man, that's my bad. Anyway, it's like, oh, Cole, you stupid. Yeah, that's Hollywood Cole.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Another one called Rory Bird, like that. Yeah, there's a few on here that feature throughout. But they did a good job. Like you say, it's cohesive. It's a nice vibe throughout. For me, this is like, I get what you mean, Kieran, about it being nice to listen to at night and things like that. But for me, it's more like a summer evening. I don't know. I kind of want to put this on as the sun's kind of going down. It's nice and warm outside. That's the kind of vibe.
So do we all agree it's kind of like a wind down type album rather than like a hype up type thing?
It's not a hype up one, but that Uzi track does hype up a little bit. Can't lie.
Yeah, and Lay With You, I could listen to Lay With You at a party. I think that's a party track.
I think so.
That song jarred me so much in the sequence, though. I see what you mean about that.
I know what you mean about the drone kind of thing of it, Sam, and it's got this kind of like, it's
trippy, man. That's why I wouldn't want to listen to it at a party unless I'm like really drunk or like high or something. I don't want to listen to that.
Yeah, it's an intoxicated track.
Yeah, definitely. Man, it puts you in a trance.
What about the features? Standouts.
Wow.
Smino.
Uzi Vert.
My boy.
Doechii.
J-Rock.
She killed it. She listen.
J-Rock
that
was hard to
feature.
No one's loving Smino. I thought Smino did his thing, man.
Smino, that might be one of my favorites. Yeah, that one. Wow.
Yeah. No, Smino did really well.
Yeah, Smino does what Smino does best with the smoothness. But like that Doechii, or however you pronounce her name, on what you said, she catches
a pocket.
She killed it.
she just
she killed it.
It's really good.
It's honestly one of my favorite features of the year. I think I need to listen to her music. I need to find more stuff.
I agree. She's quite big, actually.
Yeah, it seems like it.
She's got a lot of streams.
I've never heard of her before until now, but obviously now Sean's like, you need to listen to Doja. What the fuck is that?
No, I haven't even listened to it yet. That verse alone was
even YG Tut as well on Chad. That verse is so good.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say though, the Scissor and Black track, that was a good track. I like that. I'm surprised that wasn't a single more so than the ones he chose. That's like the most commercially available.
It's not really, but it's not really like structured commercially. It like, I don't know how many verses Isaiah has, but then like Scissor just comes in for a verse and then Black comes in. It's a weird structure for a commercial song.
Yeah, and it's Kenny Beats, so I can't complain about that. He hit a pocket with that one.
I know Black's been around a while and this is not a hot take at all, but his tone of voice is brilliant, man. Like, I'm not huge into his music. I don't think he's the best singer out there, but there's something about his tone, very distinctive.
He's got one of the nicest singing voices in hip hop culture. Definitely.
Yeah, he's got something else going on.
Yeah, I really like his. I
used to like him early on, but I haven't listened to him recently. I don't know what happened. He had like some artwork with a bear on the front, and I loved that. And then I haven't listened to him since.
His first album was just incredible, and I know his follow-up stuff was good, but it just wasn't hitting the same.
I didn't
like there wasn't like that song.
Yeah, he got lost in the shuffle for me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what that is or why that is, but he just got lost in the shuffle.
Who knows that? I think he's young actually, so. Summarize, I think we have to admit like every feature is good on this album.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I don't know how he was so good at picking all these features out or why he's so blessed to get the features he did, but
it's crazy. Like I think curating a perfect feature list like this is quite unbelievable, to be honest. Like you'd want to see a Kendrick, you'd want to see whatnot, but like actually appreciate what he's got on it. It's crazy. J-Rock, Uzi.
The two big features that he's got, four, should I say, sorry. Uzi Vert, J-Rock, Black, and Scissor.
That's what I was going to say. We didn't get Kendrick, but we got my boy J-Rock, man, and he's in the lab cooking. Expect that album next year.
Win, 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 win.
It sounded like a promoter.
Man's getting paid by TDE, man.
You see how, because I agree, I think pretty much every feature excels in this, but do you think Isaiah got outdone on most tracks for the features?
Let's not say that though.
No, let's say them to shine.
I think he wanted them to look. No, I mean like let's not say it like that though, because I feel like he gave
something he did get outshone.
Lil Uzi Vert spun him, which was confusing.
He was setting the vibe, bro. He was setting the vibe though.
Man, I don't know.
I'll tell you what the difference is. Yeah, is that look at like a Tyler and his album this year especially, where he gets the absolute best out of his features and still goes toe to toe, if not delivers more. I felt like, especially on the first few listens to it,
defended, man. Oh god!
I'm just saying there were like until I took this album in after a few listens, I didn't remember some of Isaiah's verses.
Not at all. They don't exist as far as I'm concerned.
No, they don't. A couple.
They don't. You know.
I was so baffed.
They really don't.
I was so baffed. I was like, "What did Isaiah? What does he sound like?" Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking like, "What is my man's voice?"
He's a different kind of rapper, isn't he? He's a vibey rapper.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like after a few listens, after
the
a few
melodies,
and like taking in the album on a deeper level, I didn't have that. But it was the first few. It was just like, oh, J-Rock killed it. Oh, Smino killed it. But and then afterwards, I'm thinking, but what did Isaiah do again? And I don't mean that to be disrespectful. I just mean that I just felt that on most tracks where he had features, I feel like the features came out on top.
Even Scissor outdid him, which is odd because she doesn't rap.
Yeah, Scissor did. Yeah, she did outdo him because that's all. It's bad, but that's all I remember from the track is just Scissor on the track. This is what Sean's saying as well. Like you just remember the features, not Isaiah.
Yeah. Not Isaiah was bad or anything.
No,
like that.
he was, and that's
about memorability. If that's a word.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a word.
We're making up words now.
My point for the features is like the features don't make the song what they are. Like Isaiah does actually set like a precedence usually of like this is the song, this is how it flows, this is the melodies on the chorus, all of this kind of stuff. Not many times he shares the chorus really, or like like lets it for someone else. He usually just does it with them, or he does it himself. So
yeah, maybe that's what we're missing. That's exactly what you said, Kieran. This is his album. These are his songs. Does it matter if he gets spun on his own songs on his own album? I don't think so.
No, but then we're being it's kind of double standards, because one of the huge criticisms we had of Jay Electronica's album. No.
That's a different story. He's got a whole lot
going back to that.
That was the same feature. That's the thing. There was many features. That
was a Jay-Z album with Jay Electronica featuring that. That, man. That's not the same thing at all.
Man, but what I would give Isaiah is I feel like with Isaiah's style, one, there isn't really anyone that sounds like him, nor that could go over tracks in the way he does, the way he delivers. And two, I feel like his voice and his cadence and whatnot is almost like an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? He's not like a lyrical miracle just about the bars and this and that. He kind of merges in with the music. And that's something that I don't think many people can do.
I hear that, because on Headshots, he is kind of like, he's almost like a drum at times, but he does like no shot, no diggity, and all that kind of stuff. He's almost singing at times, but it's rap. It is kind of melodic without all the autotune going on and all that kind of stuff.
That's one thing. Like, it reminds me of like old soul music to an extent, like how the vocals aren't really like sitting on top of the track. They're not like taking away from the whole musical experience you're getting.
One thing though,
I agree, man.
For me, Headshots is like such a great song.
Wow,
that's a beautiful song. That song
brilliant.
Bangs for me. It just it's just amazing.
It's a sequel to For the Squall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently,
is that how you say it? Did I say it right?
It's like For the Squad, didn't it? For the
squat. So yeah, when I was listening to it before the album came out, because I was just a bit like, I didn't really care about Isaiah Rashad. I'll listen to his singles. Yeah. I was like, if it's an album full of these types of tracks, heat. And it's not really an album full of that level of track, if that makes sense. They're all the same vibiness, but they're not the same level of like, I don't know. I can't describe it without just gesturing. Like, it's like Headshots is up there.
It is a level up.
Yeah.
It is. It's one of the best songs of the album, without a doubt. And
it might even be one of his best songs ever.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
it's up there with What's Wrong and all those other songs he has.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I really like that track. But there's like a mixture of, there's stuff like that which is just, I guess, pure vibe. And then there's other things like what he's saying in tracks like Dark Side. Is it Dark Side or Dark Seed, by the way?
Dark Side.
Pick one and stick with it. Let's say Dark Side.
Yeah, just go with it, yeah. Songs like All Herb and Hey Mister, Don't Shoot as well. They're the ones that I'm the more I listen to those tracks, I'm like, this is the house is burning. This is where the profound stuff is, like the deeper stuff. If you can kind of decipher what he's saying. But then, yeah, you do have the Headshots and the Claymores, which they're not really talking about much, but it just sounds amazing. You just pop it on in the car, you just pop it on at home while you're cleaning or doing DIY or something like that, and you just zone out.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's a good balance.
This is the problem though with this being an album, right, and us kind of being spoiled this last year with really good albums, is that this just doesn't compare to anything that's come out this year previously, or that could come out for the rest of the year. And if this were the Sun's Tirade Part 2 type vibes, then it would be a contender. But this, like Kieran said, doesn't really give off album vibes, even though with the very audacious title and the amazing artwork, you think it is going to be like this, like a masterpiece type thing.
Do you think it will grow over time, though? Do you think it's just going to take a while to really get it? Because that's what I'm thinking. That's what, like I said, there's some certain tracks on here, especially, like I say, All Herb or Hey Mister, where the more I listen to it, the more I'm unpacking. And I don't fully, like what I was talking about, the themes at the beginning, I'm still not like 100% certain of stuff. I just wonder whether this is one over time that is really going to age well, possibly. I don't know what you lot think.
I'm just thinking about when you were discussing the different like subject matters and like song tones and stuff, and like certain songs really represent the album title, The House is Burning. Like, especially the second half of Hey Mister, where he's like shout rapping. There's other moments like that as well. I'm just wondering, if the album's just gonna fall short in like being clear enough about that kind of stuff. Like it feels more sporadically spread through, and then you get like his traditional vibes as well, like R.I.P. Young, Headshots, all of those kind of ones. It just something about it isn't crafted. I know it's meant to be cryptic, but I was going to say clear enough. But
So, Kieran, do you feel like this album's a bit bloated? Do you feel like there's too many songs on here?
Look, the production is cohesive. Maybe his like song types or like subject matter isn't cohesive. Like he says a lot of different things on it, and it's nice and expansive, but it means I'm not getting the point. Like imagine watching a film like this. You're just seeing so many random scenes, and like they're even like different actors in every scene as well. Like a Terrence Malick film or something. You're not really like you don't know what's going on. It is good that there's great stuff happening in every episode, essentially each song, but.
So you're kind of saying what I'm saying.
I'm not sure where I'm sitting. Yeah,
I'm saying what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Sun's Tirade was really, really good. This is just good, and that's not really a bad thing.
Sun's Tirade was such an album. Like I really understood what was going on. As cryptic as all the songs were.
We also just went from an album and from an artist, Dave, who is incredibly clear, and clarity is one of his strong points. And then you go to Isaiah Rashad, where there's certain lines in here. If I hadn't read that interview on the Fader, I wouldn't get it. Like there's a line in here where he says, "We was on peas, then we was on blades, then we was on sofas." Like to me, if you just read that out, you're like, "What are you talking about?" But from reading the thing, like knowing about the whole kind of going from making a load of money to then like getting a bit lost in drugs. So he's talking about blades. I'm assuming it's cutting up the drugs. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way off. Then we was on sofas. So that's talking about him being on the couch. I get that because I read that piece, but stuff like that, it just, what does it mean? And there's probably plenty other lines that I've missed that are really sort of autobiographical or very much like a part of the themes and the journey he's trying to tell, I guess. But it's so Isaiah that you can't really pick it up. You can't get it. And maybe like I don't know whether we ever will. Like I love the Sun's Tirade, but I still couldn't tell you exactly like what he's talking about and what's going on. I kind of get what he means by the Sun's Tirade, and I understand some of the things he says, but there's other stuff where I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But it just sounds great. It just sounds really good.
That's the thing though. I feel like we can all agree, even Theo, it's all gone over my head. And I feel bad that it's gone over my head.
In a Lupe kind of way.
No, right? That's what I mean.
Like when you listen to Lupe, you're not sure what what's going on.
But you know what Lupe is like, man. Lupe always leaves me confused. But like that's what I mean about me struggling to relate this album to the title. And I just feel like I'm missing so much. But maybe that's just because of how Zay's just being cryptic, and I just need to give it more listens. But I just wanting to connect to it, but just went over my head.
It was linked to how we were saying about Sun's Tirade and understanding that. I feel like there must be some sort of link between these two albums, because
you think so?
Clearly the titles link, like the Sun's Tirade. So like a tirade of the sun, like heat hitting everything, burning everything, like lots of fire and stuff, right? And then like the house ends up burning because of that. And I don't know.
I feel like I need to listen to both of them in sequence.
Trust me, back to back, I think something will link.
But I don't know if something will link or if it would just be like, I'll just be in the same boat of like Sun's Tirade's a really good album and House is Burning all right. Like I don't know if that's gonna happen. Like sure.
But I feel like
go on. No, I was gonna ask you to say something. Go on.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that with the whole cryptic thing, I just want to clarify that I don't think it's in any way forced or pretentious. I think, and I'm not saying that any other artist is, but I think with some, especially the very intelligent lyricists, they know what they're doing. They're like creating a world, or they're creating a character, or you know what I mean? They're, whereas with Isaiah, I think he's just being so explicitly himself and talking, like I say, in his own lingo, making the sounds that he wants to make. As he says, I'll repeat it again, makes music for the vibers. I think that's his thing. That I don't think he'd mind that people don't get it. I guess his thing is just people enjoy it and vibe to it and just kind of enter that kind of world, that zone that he's trying to portray.
I read you said something quite interesting that was for people that have been following his music, he hopes that when they listen to this, they see the progression in his like journey, his lyricism, the things like the topics he's talking about, all of that kind of stuff. But like for people that don't really know it that much, I'm assuming like Sam and Theo, I feel like Sean's the most interested in him.
In Isaiah Rashad?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not interested in him. It's just the fact of the Sun's Tirade was really good.
Are you following him though?
Nah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm not following. After the Suns tirade and he was gone, I haven't been following him for ages. You're right. Yeah, like I can't say I'm a follower.
And he doesn't pop up anywhere
Isaiah.
for me to remember him. He's not featuring anywhere. You know what I mean? It's like he's in the scene, but he's not in the scene. It's like he's nowhere to be found.
He said with these kind of people, his intention is he just wants us to take away that he can rap well on a lot of different things, which I feel like we actually are taking from this project, really.
Yeah, you said that right at the start, Sam. I think.
What
you said? I think you said he's like what I took from this is he's a really good rapper.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. He's a really good rapper, definitely. but that's not enough for me to fall in love with an album. It's just enough for me to listen to an album.
I'm not attached to him as an artist. Like I don't particularly want to follow him still after this project.
No, yeah,
but I am like interested in him as I've always been.
Yeah, I give him respect. Like I've tried my best to be respectful when I was, taking into consideration the review for this album, but I can't make something make sense if it doesn't make sense to me. Do you know what I mean? I can't just make magic wisdom. Yeah.
I guess it kind of relates then to something I wanted to ask, which was, and maybe it doesn't apply to you all, but was it worth the wait? Was this album worth all that time?
I mean, if I was a proper follower, which I can't say I am, I don't think it would have been worth the wait. I really like it. It's a good vibe. I really enjoy it. But if I was following like a stan, like I was like I'm a proper Kendrick stan, I might be a little bit disappointed. A little bit. It's not bad. I really enjoy it, but I'm trying to put myself as in a proper follower. Like if I was a proper stan, waited that whole time for it, might have been a little bit disappointed. I'm not.
This is actually, like I was thinking, it links to the complexity thing again as well. Like,
Sean wants to laugh, but he's trying not to laugh.
I was thinking, but Kendrick makes albums complex, like you won't even understand them on your first listen, but he makes it worth unpacking. Like how much did people gain from unpacking To Pimp a Butterfly? And like it changed your whole mindset of like the way you view the world to an extent. Like I don't think even with the complexities that this album has, I don't know if there's anything profound enough to actually unpack from it other than an autobiographical mystery, basically.
I think the difference there is that, the difference there is if you are, as you say, you hit the nail on the head actually. I think with Kendrick's, it's universal. It's social commentary. There's a lot of people can relate to a lot of the themes and the topics and the stories and this and that. Whereas because Isaiah is so autobiographical, you have to be very much invested in him to go back to this and to sit with it for, I'm not talking about weeks like we have for a review. I'm talking about like months, years down the line. I'll let you say something, Sam, because like, as Kieran said, I think I'm probably the biggest fan, so I'll say my piece last. But
I haven't really got anything. This is the problem. I haven't got anything bad to say about it. That's the part that's really bugging me. And when we get to scores, you'll kind of see why I feel a bit deflated from my score. But was it worth the wait? I wasn't waiting. Like I think Theo touched on that. I wasn't waiting for this, so I'm not like, oh, this is disappointing because I was waiting for it. It's more like this is all right. It's come out. Like, thank you, but I'm not trying to like. I don't think I'm not trying to do the album bad. Yeah, when I say this, but I do really mean this when I say it. I'm not gonna go back and listen to this that many more times. Nothing's drawing me back to this. I've got Headshots.
Headshots,
I've got Headshots. I'll take that, put that on the playlist. I'll take Lay With You and put it on my driving playlist, like late night driving playlist. And other than that, I could just leave the rest of it, to be honest. Like, I want to hear the Smino track, but don't really care that much, which is sad, but it's just how it is.
So for me, as someone who is and has been a fan, I enjoyed the album. I'm not disappointed, but I'm a bit underwhelmed. I think that's the best way I can put it. Like you say, Sam, there isn't really anything bad or negative I can say. Possibly what I was saying about him being outshone by features. But again, it didn't mean I thought he was bad or the song was bad. I just felt that the features outperformed him.
Rightly so, though. And there's no way you could cloud that judgment by lying to yourself and go, oh, but Isaiah Rashad's a really good rapper. He got spun on his own tracks.
This is the thing. I want to like.
Spun's harsh.
No, it's true though. Listen, like Claymore. I want to like Claymore and be like, oh yeah, I like an Isaiah song, but I actually like it because of Smino.
but that's what I mean. It's like Isaiah does fine, on all of them. It's just that some of the features are, like Smino makes Claymore, you know. But saying that, and I'm trying to remember how I felt about the Sun's Tirade back in 2016 and whether it really hit straight away or not, is that I'm open to this growing on me even more because I am invested in him as an artist, as a person. There's something about him that I find really interesting. It's like and I think Kenny Beats even said this somewhere. He said something like he brings you into a non-TDE story, but with TDE depth. Like there's layers to it, like there is with a Kendrick or a Schoolboy Q, or or this or that. Like that's what makes TDE so great, is that they're not one-dimensional. It's not like really basic stuff. Even though someone like a J-Rock isn't what you would call a conscious rapper, there's a lot going on there.
J-Rock is the best at delivery out of all the TDE people. I just want to say that.
Oh, J-Rock,
man, I'm telling you, the guy just gets some gas, man. His delivery is on point.
The one quotable that I love from him is when he said, "Jumped out the whip, Millie rocking the wheel." What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. But he said it with so much conviction. I was like, yeah, do that stuff.
But like, what I mean is that Isaiah is very much Southern. You know what I mean? He's not like TDE that snaps up this Southern guy who's trying to sound West Coast. He is a Southern rapper.
Yeah.
But there's this element of intelligence and I don't know, thoughtfulness, just things that I associate with TDE artists, basically.
Would we appreciate him more if he wasn't attached to TDE? Because I feel like we would, you know.
No, and I don't mean to be harsh. I feel like unless he got signed by another one of the big labels, I don't think he'd be as big as he is now.
Nope. He wouldn't. TDE helped him massively.
Saying no.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Nope. You don't think he would have caught on?
I kind of disagree with certain things Sean said, because I feel like his sound fits into TDE's kind of like sonic sphere anyway.
Oh, it does.
They all make vibey music, really and truly.
Yeah.
Like I know Kendrick's one explores a bit differently, and J-Rock's is a bit more aggressive. But like
Absol Schoolboy, he's sitting there.
Yeah. They're all like just vibey kind of sound, West Coast vibes. I can't really explain it more than that, but he fits into that really well.
No, I get you. And there is an element of, or there has been an element of West Coast in his last two projects because he lives out there. He lives in LA, so I get that. And I agree with you in that sense. I just mean that he is also quintessentially Southern. Like when you hear like the cowbells on what you said and the sample on Lay With You, do you know what I mean? That is, you can't get much more Southern than those things. His accent, his references, things like that. His
obsession with cars in this one, like you were saying as well.
Obsession with
crit a little bit.
Yeah. Whereas someone like a Reason, who's a good rapper, who's made some decent music and that. Part of my thinking of why they signed him is he's very much West Coast. You know what I mean? Whereas Isaiah is to me, yes, he fits the vibe and this and that, and like I say, he's got depth like the rest of them. But he's also very different as well. So he is his own artist. I just do think that the TDE was a good look. It definitely propelled him. Obviously that's not a diss. It's just, I just think it's the truth.
Right. Yeah. No, you've got a point. But okay, so taking that into account, you're a Isaiah Rashad fan, right? Are you willing to wait another 5 years for a project that's at the same level, if not worse than this one?
No. I don't think so. I've got to be honest. I think because this one, to me, and again, I'm open to my mind to changing my opinion. I don't think this is as good as the Sun's Tirade.
Okay.
And I am, like I said, I'm a little bit underwhelmed after 5 years. But I think if he wants to kind of maintain the relevancy he's got now and the kind of buzz that's around him and the I wouldn't say cult-like, but he's got a strong fan base. I don't think he can take 5 years again. I think he's got to come within 2-3 years, whatever he does.
What if he goes into a mode where he decides to drop an album next year and he just does that because he feels like he's taken too much time off? Do you think that's beneficial or detrimental?
Surely beneficial.
Yeah, if it's good.
To make up for lost time. Now, I think that would be great, actually. Drops another album next year and then keeps the buzz and keeps the wave. I think that would be the smart thing to do. Not wait any longer.
Yeah, because it would be out of character, I guess. People would be surprised. You know what I mean? Oh, another one this soon? I think if he did one in 2 or 3 years, people would be like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, if he dropped one next year, I think there'd be a fair bit of buzz around it. Definitely, yeah.
I'm just thinking, because when people take long hiatuses, especially if they're not featuring anywhere or anything, they might have a whole bunch of music they're just sitting on. or they might have a whole feeling of like, especially if they haven't been in the studio, especially if he's gone through drug problems and stuff like that. I'm assuming he wasn't working. He might just be in like this new kind of work mode where he starts dropping like prolifically or something. So that would, I think that would be, this is the problem. I'm not checking for him, but I'm not going to listen to what he releases next.
I have a want for more music from him, but I don't really like care as well.
Yeah, it's an odd feeling to be in. I haven't been this way for a while. Yeah, I'm normally quite polarized. I'm either into your music or I'm not. With this, I'm like, I'm into it, but I don't care, and it's like a weird feeling to me. I'm not.
You're in the grey area.
That's a nice one. Nice one.
I think it kind of links to something we were saying at the start of this little bit, which is like we kind of care more about the other TDE artists, really. And there's only like so much room you could take of something. Like there's so many artists to listen to in the world, right? It's like we've got 4 great TDE artists already. Like, how much more space do we have to extend to?
And you know what's mad? I probably think I only listen to it because he's part of TDE as well.
Real talk. Like, that is the truth.
I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
I think because TDE is so great, I see Isaiah Rashad, he's part of TDE. Oh yeah, I'll give it a listen, but I'm not going to wait because he's part of TDE. I'll be like, I'm not mad at his music. I love it. Like the Sun Tarade's a brilliant album, and like I said, I'm not mad at this either. But if he was not part of TDE, can't say I'd be like following.
I think Headshots would have reached people though. Headshots would have reached people because it's hitting certain notes that are pretty good.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
And stuff like Free Lunch off the last album. Free Lunch.
Free Lunch. No, that song is dope. Yeah, man.
See, I don't even know what tracks I liked off the Sun's Tirade because when I look at my Spotify, I just liked every track.
That's what I mean. Is like
it's a bit bad.
I think now I'm thinking back. I'm putting myself back in that mode. Is that I think the Sun's Tirade did hit quicker for me because it had tracks like that. And although Headshots is a great track and I enjoy other aspects of this album, I don't know if there's highlights like a Free Lunch on this. As great as like a No Headshots is, I don't know if it's Free Lunch. Do you know what I mean? And also, like, I know he's talking about his lyricism. And like we've said, there's more to be unpacked here. But I feel like in terms of just his rapping, like his delivery, I don't know if he performed as, I don't want to say as well, but again, I guess it's more about.
Look, you're saying he didn't sell his lyrics to us basically because you really have to like go into the writing or just like listen really hard to actually hear what he's saying.
But you know, like how the way he's rapping on Free Lunch, the way he's like riding that beat, the way he's pronouncing it, like the inflections on his voice, things like that.
He sold it there.
It's just like it's impeccable. But and there's another track on there where the just getting up the track list now. There's another one on the Sun's Tirade where the delivery is just on point, and it's one of the more sort of heavy hype tracks. I think it's Park. Do you remember that track?
Nah,
I'd have to play that. I'd have to play that again.
I haven't listened to the album since it come out
because I haven't. Yeah, exactly. It's a while since I've listened to it.
I've listened to songs off of it, but not the album.
See, this is the thing because I've listened to that album a lot, even in recent times, and I would have even said that for the last year, sort of leading up to this album, he was my second most anticipated after Kendrick.
Right.
Wow.
After Schoolboy Q, after J-Rock, after Ab-Soul especially. I really, really am into Zay. I really do like Isaiah Rashad, but I guess after this one, I'm a bit like, you know, if he did this after 2 years, maybe 3, maybe it wouldn't feel as underwhelming because it's 5 years. You know what I mean? 5 years after a great album like The Sun's Tirade, I'm just like, I wanted a little bit more. Just a little bit more, I guess.
So what would you want from him in the future? What would you want from Isaiah Rashad in the
I
future?
only want to hear him on a collab album with TDE. I don't really want to hear another solo album.
That's a big statement.
Come on now.
Wild statement, man.
No, man.
That's a bit intense. I don't know, Sean, are you hearing what this man's saying? Because I heard it and I feel that's a bit too much.
No, man.
What do I want to hear from him? I want more of the merging of
Kieran,
sounds.
I'm sorry, wait a second.
Oh my God.
Say that again. Say that again.
Like full on.
I said, but like, hear me how I'm saying it. Do you really want to sit through 16 tracks of like this kind of experience again, or hear like 3 of them like solo tracks on like a TDE collab album or something? Like, I'd rather hear that.
Okay.
man,
now Sean, say what you're saying because I needed to process what Kieran said because I thought I misheard, but I heard him fully. Man said you don't want to hear it anymore.
No, he's getting parred like Vegeta gets parred in Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z, man. What?
Anyway,
I'm reading the manga, man.
Sean, bring us back to reality, man.
All right. So what I want more of the same in terms of the vibes and the production and the merging of styles. But in terms of his rapping, I would like more clarity.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the cryptic nature and the autobiographical style, but I would like to understand more. And when he says things like when he makes statements like about his lyricism and about his rapping ability, I want to hear that. Do you know what I mean? I want to be able to confidently agree with that. I want to hear him bar it up. I want to know what he's saying.
Yeah.
So I guess it's that really, a bit more clarity.
I just, you know what? With the next project, I just want to see an improvement, which is rude to say, but I just want to see something better. Maybe no features. Maybe do a J. Cole, no features on the album and see how that goes.
Concise as well, though. Like,
that would be nice, though.
Please.
Yeah, maybe just experiment with a 10-track formula, 12 max. 6. My complaint isn't that this album feels too long. It's just, I don't know. It's just not doing.
We don't have complaints. This is the thing.
The weird part about this reviewing.
It's weird because it's just not hitting in place. Like that's what I've got nothing bad to say about this album, but I can't say it's like blowing me away. In the next project, I need him to just, I don't know, do something like Sean says, lyrical, and just bar it up and just like, let me just. I don't even need like pure aggression like a J-Rock or anything. I just need you to say some bars where I'm like, feeling that type of way where I did not feel that type of way in this album.
Because he's killing it everywhere else. In every other department, he's nailed it. And he nailed the rapping department at times on the Sun's Tirade and on Sylvia Demo. But I'd like to hear more of that. I guess concise is another one as well. I guess a nice little 10 to 12 of him rapping nice and clear. Man, just, I don't know, like just doing a bit more with the bars, I guess. Just, coming in with some more, I don't know, I'm waffling.
Switching up. No, I hear you. Switching up the flow, switching up the cadences, like doing something different. I like this album, but I needed something more. I was just bobbing my head. It's the vibe. I needed something to just grab my attention a bit more. Like just say, right, I'm here. It's been 5 years. I'm back. I'm here. Remember the name, Isaiah Rashad. You're going to remember it. I didn't get that. That's what I want going forward. You needed to give me something like that.
Like if we got that on the return and then got this 2 years later, I reckon it would sit a bit better.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
Precisely. Because it was too long. You needed to come with something and say that you might have forgot me, but I'm here now. No one's gonna forget my name. I'm rightfully part of this TDE label. Here I am. I'm back. You did not get that from this album. I certainly didn't.
Nah, yeah. It's like he left and then he's here, but it's like the gap is just too much. But it's not like anyone felt the gap. I don't know how much people, apart from Sean, maybe he's the only person, was out there like, where's Isaiah Rashad? Where's Isaiah Rashad? I was like...
I did have a few nights like that.
He was in the hotel lobby screaming, ah! Spoke to Lucy. He told me everything.
I remember you was conflicted.
That's who I want to drop next, okay? That's that. To jump onto the next part.
That's what I was going to ask. Is like, no, look, we know who we all want. That's an easy answer, but who is dropping next? That's the question.
J-Rock or
Absol, maybe? Nah. Absol's due, though.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Absol?
No, Absol is due. He is due.
Can we have an honest conversation about Absol? Okay. Right. And I don't want to...
Who's lying, though?
Nah, yeah, trust me.
This is no disrespect. And this is TDE talk, so it's going to get passionate, but Absol, right, one of the great lyricists of his generation, of the past 10 years. Control System, great album, Stuff he did before that as well, solid. Since then, I don't think he's delivered.
No, he's probably this is going to sound harsh, but he's probably the biggest disappointment of TDE.
More disappointing than Isaiah, let's be real.
Nah, Control System's banging, though. Like that's a classic album.
Fire.
It really is,
It's fire. But like Sean said, ever since then, it has gone downhill. And he had so much potential and expectation, and
he lost it, man.
He's flopped.
He was like, he did that sick feature on Prime as well, and I was just thinking, like, why don't you have more music that sounds this sick?
Yeah, exactly.
But even the freestyle last year is
that freestyle was crazy.
It's crazy.
It's mad. Yeah,
but I just feel like he tried something with These Days, but it was a cool concept, but it just didn't hit. Didn't hit for whatever reason. There were moments on it, but didn't quite connect. And then the next one. What was it called? Do What Thou Will or whatever.
Do What Thou Will.
That did not connect at all.
That was terrible. I'm sorry.
Didn't even get played.
Terrible.
Alistair Crowley.
I'm sorry. It was not. I'm sorry. It was terrible. It was just
terrible.
Not doing anything for me. Yeah,
wow. I hardly remember it.
It's I'm not going back to that. No, you can call me harsh. I'm not going back to that. Like. I want Control System Ab-Soul. I did not get that with that album. It is terrible.
That guy's gone. That's what you got to see. Terrible. The Control System Ab-Soul is gone.
Nah.
Well, just quickly, he's rapping well on that freestyle on the album, though. Like the way he's flowing and that. Stuff like that.
It's a skippable track, though.
Yeah, but did I care about it, though? That's the real problem here. That's the problem with the whole project. Did I care? No.
Ooh, that turned quick.
Wait, but back to Ab-Soul, and I just want to say that I still think that he is capable of something great because he is that good. He is that good as a rapper. He is that. I mean, he's shown it on projects like Control System, but I don't know. I'm not sure what it is with him.
That's
don't know.
10 years ago, though.
Fuck, it is. 9-10 years ago. Yeah, it's a while. I have faith though. I have faith in Ab-Soul, but I don't think that's who's coming next.
I think it's J-Rock. I think it's pretty clear. It's either J-Rock or Schoolboy.
He's in the studio working J-Rock. Like I think he will drop, but I think it's next year. It's not this year. It'll be next year. He's definitely in the studio working.
Do we count
it's on his Instagram.
SZA is TDE. Yes, she could drop an album. She's the most mainstream person.
I think she might be dropping this year.
She already dropped an album. She dropped an album.
Oh yeah,
she dropped an album this year. What? I swear to God, she did.
No.
I swear she did. She did.
No, she's having problems, isn't she? With people always think it's aimed at the label, or it's aimed at Top Dog, but apparently it's not. I don't know what the issue is, or whether it's a different label because she's probably signed to multiple, isn't she? But
oh no, it's just I heard her on Doja Cat's album. I thought that was her track. Sorry about that.
That's right. She's
massive.
That's the only thing.
She's mainstream. She's bigger than the rest of TDE. She's everybody listens to SZA.
Kendrick,
No, she's bigger than Kendrick. Are you sick in your head? She's bigger than Kendrick.
She's double the size of Kendrick. Like her numbers are different.
41 million listeners.
Forget about it. Women are listening to her, and the man them because her songs are hitting that emotional relationship note. She's off out.
She's double.
All the stars is big because of Kendrick. Because of SZA, sorry.
I was about to say that's a false statement. Nah, that album's big though because of that song.
I mean, it's not a competition, but let's see who sells more first week out of them two.
Forget about that. She's bigger than he is. Let's just be real now.
I'm not forgetting about that. I'm not. Kendrick's going to sell crazy numbers.
SZA is bigger than Kendrick Lamar. That is a base fact. It's a base fact. We can see it.
Big as the bucket.
Trust me.
I disagree.
The numbers don't lie.
Maybe even awards, maybe even awards to back it now as well.
I mean, those numbers are telling though, man. 41. Jeez.
SZA's got a track on the new Space Jam album. She's making more bread than Kendrick as well. Come on now. I think SZA's gonna drop an album next. That is the one that I could definitely bet on because she is like a media machine. She will drop soon.
I would say that if there weren't always the complications and the Twitter dramas and all that, I feel like there is an album ready and that she wants it out, but there's some sort of complication. So my money is on whoever said Schoolboy Q or J-Rock, just because there's not really complications with them two. They get in the studio, they make an album, bang. You know what I mean? Whereas with people like SZA and Ab-Soul, there seems to always be some sort of issue with a label. I don't know if it's TDE, I don't know, but there's always problems. But if you look at the timing, then you think SZA, you think Kendrick, because it's been so long.
I don't want a Schoolboy Q album because Crash Talk was a bit shit. Especially because we saw him we saw him live just before that album came out, and then that album came out, and it was a bit, you know what I mean?
I know, but it's one bad album, man. Blank Face before that.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But like the difference is like I say, Isaiah was a bit underwhelming, whereas Crash Talk for me was actually disappointing.
Yeah,
I was not feeling that.
There was bits of it that I could manage, but most of it I just wasn't trying to hear. If that makes any sense. Chopsticks was bad. Num Num Juice was just weird.
Yeah,
Water was a banger though. That song, I got that water. I got that water.
Little baby.
Yeah.
J-Rock's the one. J-Rock's the one I want.
He's the only one that's not going to disappoint.
That guy is my boy,
delivers,
man. Redemption.
Always.
That album.
Yeah, Redemption's hard.
Flipping fire, man.
Yeah.
If he comes with another album like that, I'm just...
The one before was good too, but it didn't get received well, but I loved that.
They're getting better.
Yeah.
90059
9 be the zip.
Yeah. The track was it Easy Bake with Kendrick, where they're
every
going
track on that album is actually a classic. Every track on that album is so sick.
Trust me.
Like,
trust me.
Gumbo.
People need to re-review that.
Gumbo.
Oh man,
that
album's got such good songs. Like, Fly on the Wall with Busta.
Yeah, that was that's
the Message. Money Tree's Juice, even like what?
Yeah, Money Tree Juices was what
the hell?
We're forgetting that your boy is on there. Isaiah Rashad is on track 4, and I don't remember that at all.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was on that track.
He's quite a forgettable guy, isn't he?
Enough dissing, man. Let's go back to the album. Let's wrap this up.
I didn't want to come in here negative like the Davon.
You've come in here with bad energies, bro.
But the Davon came from a place of love, for real.
Nah, it doesn't sound like love. It sounds like hate.
Allow it.
If you haven't listened to the Dave review, which is out at the same time as this, go listen to it and come back and go in the Discord and tell Kieran he's a hater.
At the end, I said I love Dave, though.
Wait. Momentary Discord plug. Get in the fucking Discord.
But just quickly, before we move on from J-Rock, when you think about, what's it called? Redemption, though, with the bloodiest.
Oh, my goodness.
Knock it off.
Rotation
100.
Oh Jesus, man! They just, the bloodiest. It's just, that just hits. So
when you played
hard.
that in the battle, I don't know. I think it was against me. That was.
It's just so fire, man.
And the greatest feature that year, the best feature that year, Future.
Nah, that's not a good song.
Come on,
that's not a good song.
You don't like King's Dead, no?
No, I don't like.
Don't like Future verse. You're Future man.
Yeah, I'm a Future man, but that one's not for me. That one's just.
No, you love that luddy duddy dog.
Wait, no, actually, what am I talking about? That's a hard verse.
It's quite hard, you know. I like it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. So where we at with?
Actually, no. Wait, what am I talking about? That's got Kendrick in it. I got 100,000, then I freaked it.
Oh, last thing I wanted to say before we do like tracks and scores is that it's a bit of a solemn thing, but see, the thing with Isaiah Rashad for me is, like I say, I've always found him very unique and interesting, and he's someone to me that needs to be protected. And I guess after knowing about what he went through and how bad it got, I don't want to see another Mac Miller with this guy. Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to get to that point, and I hope that he is on the mend, like fully, and I hope that not only does his music progress, but just his life and the shit that he goes through in his head and whatnot, because we don't need another one to go, especially in these current times. I know people, like rappers, are dying for different reasons, but we can't have another one go like him. So yeah, I just hope that his mental health is right and he doesn't go through another period that he went through in order to make this album. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. You got a point, but I don't think we're in danger of losing Isaiah Rashad in that regard. I think we could just lose him musically, which isn't so bad. And I don't want to beat on about this, but we all thought. Oh my God! What do you say? I said we could lose him musically, which isn't that bad. Oh Jesus! The one thing I'd say though is that when we all heard Swimming for the first time, people were like, "Oh, Mac Miller sounds good," and do you know what I mean? And he got over this and that and blah blah blah, and then a month later, bang. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but in that album, he's crying out for help, though, man. It was clear to me when I listened to that album.
There's
But did you
moments
get
in
that
this,
from the
though.
first listen? Do you know what I mean? People were like,
No, I know you're not going to get it on the first. I know I didn't get it on the first listen, but when you actually deep that album, he is crying out for help, and it's so sad that obviously we lost him.
he was crying out for help since flipping watching movies. Let's face it. Man.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Yeah, it's clear. Yeah,
Faces 100%. Faces. I actually remember listening to at the time, being like, "Is he okay?" I didn't quite clock on with watching movies, but with Faces,
it's a bit weird though, because that's when I thought his music was getting good as well.
When he was with Ariana Grande, I felt like he was gonna be okay, and then the second they broke up, I was worried. Do you know what I mean? I was big worried.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is you never know, and to me, Isaiah Rashad is a real talent, and I hope he is better. I hope he is, because I think there's more to come from him.
Fingers crossed.
Right.
Favorite tracks?
Yeah. I think we should do the big fan first. The big fan.
Okay. Headshots, obviously.
All right, wait, hold on. Don't do the cop out. Take that one out, okay? Just everyone agrees Headshots is the banger, okay?
All right, let's just take that out then. Yeah. Everyone's gonna say it. It's true.
But then I need two in one then for my other pick. I need 2 in 1.
Go on, do it.
Because I've got honourables, but they come together.
Do your thing. That's why I said you have to go first.
All right, so number 1, I've got what you said. Number 2, I've got Happy Birthday to You, HB2, whatever you want to call it.
Oh.
And then the 2 together, the ones that every time I listen to them, I'm unpacking more, are All Herb and Hey Mister. There's a double. That's my favourites.
Fair enough.
Hey, Mister goes in.
Who's next?
I'll go next. Honestly, I want to say mine are Chad.
Hard.
What's the button for himself?
Yeah, I've got to do it myself, man. Fam, I know what I'm saying is straight heat.
I have to call it out.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm gonna drop bombs after everything I say now.
Drop the bombs. Though.
Treat myself like fucking Charlie Sloth. Okay. Is that how we feel, Drizzy? No, okay. Anyway, back to the point. Chad.
Charlie Sloth.
Yeah. Score. And Hey Mister.
Cool. Who's next?
No,
I'll do my monologue. Leave it out. Oh no. He was gone.
He fell over. I swear to God, he fell down. I swear to God, this man fell down to the ground. All right, go, Theo, go.
Oh, man.
It's because man called me out on the board. I haven't even used that button today.
Oh, that killed me, man. Oh, anyway. Yeah, so mine are Chad, R.I.P. Young, and oh man.
I'm just thinking about
Claymore.
Chad again. Sorry.
Claymore.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm just thinking about Chad again. It's hard. It's so hard.
Yeah, that's why I've got it there.
Oh. Yeah. Chad's one of my probably my favourite song. Apart from Headshots, obviously.
I'll do my monologue. Oh man.
I'll do it again.
It's just time to shine. It's time to shine. Man. Go.
Just 3 titles for me. I'm not gonna say any more. Dark Side. Oh man, I want to say more. You got me in a catch-22. I chose Dark Side because I like that there's no beat really in it. It's quite a cool, different song. I think he actually writes, like, he's got clear vocals in there. It's interesting.
Some profound stuff in there, yeah.
It really is. Like, I love how he has this motif that keeps repeating as well.
What's Theo doing? Nah. Look at Theo, man. His veins are popping out of his head.
It's a combo, man. This isn't a monologue. This is a combo.
What is he doing? Oh, people are responding. God. This is why we should have videos so people can see what's going on here. Because Theo is hyperventilating right now. He is in a different...
Oh, shit.
It looks like he's about to vomit, man.
I can't help it, man.
Oh my God. Now Sean's gone. I don't know if Sean's coughing or laughing. I think it's a mix of both.
Man's gone. Why is the mute? I'll do my monologue.
All right, back to Kieran and his monologue.
Set the cough off.
Oh man. Oh, it's dying.
Other 2 are Claymore and Chad, the bangers.
Nice.
You said them so quick.
He didn't want to get boarded. That's the problem.
Done out here.
Should we do the scores in the reverse order? So Kieran, Theo, me, then Sean.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Right, let's get a sheet.
You know, Sean's score is going to be mad high.
I ain't gonna lie.
What'd you say?
I was trying to copy someone because I'm not sure where I'm sitting right now.
Nah, you got to see. Now you said that, you have to come out with a number now.
Yeah. Oh man.
Kieran looks depressed by this choice.
I'm just in like my thoughts are just oscillating. I'm not sure what I'm sitting with.
Give us a range.
No, because I did that last time and you said it's not allowed.
Yeah, give us a range and then pick in the middle of that range.
Yeah, well, it's between like 7 and 8, I would say.
Oh dear. Okay. So what? Like you'd be happy with a 7.5?
7.5.
Yeah. He doesn't look happy with that either.
That rating doesn't fit comfy with me though. Like,
is it too low?
It's one or the other.
You think it's either a 7 or an 8?
Kieran, I think you're a 7.
I
think it's a 7.
I think I am. Do you know what it is? I'm trying to give it. I'm trying to give it an 8 for like the benefit of the doubt. Like, surely it's complex and I like it more.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
You
can change it later in the year, maybe. But for now,
I think it's a 7.0.
It's a 7.0. You know,
jeez.
There's going to be decimal points added.
Who's next?
Theo is.
No, it's me next. Yeah, I like the vibe. Obviously, I wanted him to do a bit more, so for that reason, I'm giving it a 7.8.
7.8 for Theo.
I ain't gonna lie, yeah. I wrote a little monologue here, a little short one.
And you do it for me.
Yeah,
I didn't even have a monologue.
Hold up.
I do my monologue.
So overall, I like the vibe. The bars are good. Nothing amazing, but I like it. 6.8.
Whoa.
This score feels low, but this didn't hit neither. Did it have songs I wanted to skip? No. Will I listen again? Probably not.
Do you know what? Fair enough, man. Actually,
the monologue backs it.
It's justified. But that monologue's needed.
Sometimes it is.
Allow it, man. Allow it. It's not a choice.
The master of the monologue.
No, it just happens. Right, go Sean.
I'm with Theo. I've got 7.8 as well.
Jeez.
I've got 7.8. Yeah. Didn't quite make the 8 bracket, but then you could say round it up to an 8. But yeah, man. Look, it's a good album. I feel like there's more to unpack. I feel like it could age well for a fan like myself. But I can't look. We've had a strong year, a strong summer, even. And if I were to put it up there, if I were to say it was up there with some of the others, I would be. You know, I'd be a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't gonna lie, my score feels low, but it's like an honest score of how I felt. Do you know what I mean? Like 7 for me it would imply that I like this enough to listen to it more than once. Or more than this.
You know what? Fair enough.
It's funny though, because when this came out, I had a higher score, but then I listened to Nas, I had to bump it back down, man.
You were gassed when this came out, Theo.
No, that's
I know.
Man said he listened to another album and had to reevaluate his score of this album. That's rude, you know.
It's deep. It's rude.
It's rude, but it's real talk. I was thinking, I'm listening to Nas thinking, nah, man, this.
Nas put a lot in perspective, you know. I thought J. Cole's album was sick when it dropped. Like, Nas' son, J. Cole.
Whoa.
Nas' son, J. Cole. Nas showed him how to make full songs. Nas has got 3 verses on it.
Hey, this has to stay in, you know. This is all staying in, you know. This is staying in. We haven't even said what our full score is for fucking this album, and it's already gone left. Man's talking about J. Cole being terrible.
I gassed J. Cole, and then listened to Nas. I was like, nah, man. Sorry, J. Cole, you're not. I thought the album was fire, but I listened to Nas, man. I listened to the God's Son, man, and Jesus.
Oh yeah. I don't. Do the listeners know that I don't like Nas? Because now I like Nas. Okay.
Goodness.
I've been converted.
That album is unbelievable.
Yeah. So, before this point, I didn't like Nas. Now
you ain't even reviewing it. It's that good. Like,
you can't. There's no point. It's just gonna be straight 10s across the board. But listen, The score for Isaiah Rashad, was 7.4.
He was close again, to be fair.
I don't know how that score feels. I feel like it feels all right. What's the other review saying? What's the?
It was fun. It is our second lowest.
Yeah.
Is it?
But the thing is,
giving out high scores.
It feels harsh. It feels so harsh.
Yeah, but when you
Pitchfork has rated it higher than us, which is a mad thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is. But the thing is, I looked at some of my ratings. I was like, I've got to be. Am I giving out too many high scores?